What is up, YouTube? Today I'm going to show you the new Aaron 6-star and Zeke, and I'm going to do the Rumbling in the latest story mode, which is the Desert Raider 6. Oh, not Extreme. I think it might actually be possible just because of how OP the Rumbling is, but this is just a normal showcase on how to beat it normally for you guys. And if it is possible, I think I might try Familiar Planet Extreme with this loadout, because generally the Rumbling is very OP for story mode. It does a ton of damage, and yeah. So basically, here's the loadout you want to have. Levels don't matter all that much, just try to have, most stuff above at least 50, I'd say. Your Speedwagon should also be pretty high, and your Uru should be pretty high. Other than that, it doesn't matter too much. But the higher level your Aaron is, the better, obviously, because the Rumbling will do more damage. And yeah, the main strat is Uru for early defense, and then once you can start affording them, you're going to start spamming down Rumbling Aarons. You should be able to get like 2 or 3 by the time the game is over. So as you can see, these D-cells have a lot of HP, but Uru with the Fire Orb actually does like 5,000, so he'll easily be able to take care of those. And yeah, if I did it right, there should be chapters in this video that say every wave, so if you're struggling on a specific wave, you can just skip to that, so you don't have to watch the whole video. So right now you're mainly just waiting for the Uru placement and upgrading your farm when you can afford it, and I think the best option here is to actually wait for the next wave skip and upgrade your Speedwagon. Now, it may seem pretty greedy and pretty risky to do this, but I actually think we should have enough time for us to place an Uru before these guys kill us. So, yeah, I think we'll be alright. Alright, we just got the upgrade, and let's go put the Uru down. Uh-oh, he's hitting the wrong guys. Put him on last for that. Yes, sometimes Uru will, not Uru, but any unit will hit weirdly. Like he's on first, but he was hitting them over here instead of over here. That's because in double path, there's kind of a bug where something to do with the unit pathing, makes it to where the priority acts up. So you might have to do a little bit of priority swapping in the early game just to make sure you don't die. But yeah, other than that, you shouldn't really struggle too much in the early. Alright, so we just got the wave 5, Uru still holding out very well. And I think actually these guys have very little HP compared to how much damage Uru does, so you can actually farm for a very long time, up until like up to next wave, I think, and then we'll put another Uru down to be safe. Towards the end of wave 5, you should be able to get this Speedwagon upgrade, and then as soon as wave 6 starts, you want to go ahead and get this. Don't buy the 3000 one, instead put another Uru down. I don't think you necessarily have to, but it's better safe than sorry, and it's not like you're missing out on too much. So as you can see, they're starting to have like 10k HP, which really isn't a lot, since Uru does 5000 damage, but it's just nice to have that security. So into wave 7, I'm going to get this upgrade, and yeah, I think Powerfuls shouldn't arrive for a while, so you don't have to worry about upgrading Urus just yet. So far we're doing good enough damage to hold them at bay, so I think we'll be able to get this 5000 upgrade before this wave actually ends, which would be really good, because that's an extra $3,000. Alright, we just skipped wave 7. Here we are on wave 8, and we did get the upgrade in time. So you want to buy the 6400 one. You can't afford the 8800 one just yet. And yeah, it looks like our units are still defending very well. 27k is a little iffy though, so I'm going to start putting things in this. This placement is where your late game is going to be, basically. There's probably a better one, but I just figured this was really good because it combines the two paths very well. You have a lot of range for here, and you also have range here. Obviously, that's when they max them out, though, because right now, they're not seeing too much. Alright, so into Wave 9, you want to go ahead and get this upgrade. You cannot afford the 12k one yet. And what you want to do is upgrade all of these guys once. Not twice just yet. Because we want to have enough money for Irwin as well. And speaking of Irwin, you want to go and do this. Now, most people won't be able to do this because their Irwin isn't high enough level. But if your Irwin is high enough level to do this, you can only upgrade one Irwin one time and still get the full 200% buff. It's very useful for story mode. As you can see, they're getting the full buff for a lot less money total spent, which is great. So you want to buy the 12k upgrade going into Wave 10, and these two Uryus really aren't doing anything anymore, so I'm going to sell them and replace them inside of our Irwin's range. So they'll be doing a lot more damage. And the next Speedwagon upgrade is 13,500. I think we're still doing fine. Oh, the Irwin buff right now. Make sure you're always buffing, by the way. It's not like, you know, you're in any risk. It's just if you don't buff for a prolonged period of time, you are, you know, pretty likely of dying. So go ahead and buy this upgrade on Wave 11, and Wave 12 we'll get this upgrade, and that'll be our last Speedwagon upgrade, because everything past that isn't really worth it for story mode. So now that we just got this wave skip, we're going to go ahead and buy the second upgrade for all of our Uryu. Just like that. And that means we'll have a lot more damage, as well as be able to hit powerful 2s, which should be coming sometime soon. I don't really know where they're at, because they're pretty slow, and this map's, you know, really large. Coming into Wave 12, you want to buy this upgrade, and you have $9,000, so what you want to do is put a Blackbeard here on first, Blackbeard here on first, and then you don't have enough money to afford it right now, but you also want to put Blackbeards on this side. Actually, probably the better option is to put one each, and then put the other one down the next wave skip, but I just did it the improper way. So you want to go ahead and keep buffing. We're going into Wave 13 pretty soon. Again, your Speedwagon is fully maxed out once you get into the 25k upgrade. You have no reason to buy this. As you can see, it'll take like 3 waves in order to make it up. And obviously there's only 2 waves left. So it's just not really worth it. So you want to go ahead and put your Blackbeards down now. And now, you want to go ahead and max out a couple of Uryus. Make sure you still have a decent amount of money though. Don't max out too many just yet, because you want to have enough money to do a rumbling for when the wave skip comes. And you want to go ahead and put a Zeke down. Now upgrading the Zeke is optional. You can do it, but you don't have to. It doesn't really matter at all, because you can just rumbling at placement. So what I'm actually going to do here is upgrade Uryus until I have like I'm going to and upgrade these Uryus like this. And then I don't have enough money to max out our Uryu and get rumbling. So I'm just going to get a rumbling Aaron, and we'll leave it at that for now. Make sure you get him to the highest upgrade you can up until this 500k one, because he'll do his rumbling does bonus damage. It's basically whatever Aaron's current damage is, it does that in tick damage, and does it to like basically the entire map for like, I don't know how many ticks exactly it is, but it's a lot. So you want to go ahead and have him at the highest damage you can get him at. Alright, so now that we just got that wave skip, we're going to go ahead and max out the rest of our Uryus, and we are on the last wave. We're going to wait for this Irwin to rebuff, and then we'll go ahead and rumble. Alright, the Irwin just ended its buff, and rumbling. And the great thing about Aaron is how cheap he is for what you get. He is effectively a better, like, he's one of the best map clearers in the game, and you only need to pay, like, what, is that 39k on him? Or on something like 39k? He's very, very cheap for what you get, and that's what makes Aaron so good. So make sure you keep buffing as well, because rumbling is what Aaron's current damage is per tick, so you want to make sure that, you know, he's doing as much damage as you can get him to, which is also why it's helpful to have him, you know, max level, or at least as high as a level as you can get. So as you can see, these units are like, you know, they have a lot of HP, and Uryus are kind of struggling to deal with them a bit. But as soon as they get near the Founding Titan and the tick damage starts rolling in, just look at everything get sweeped. Like, you can tell when it happens, because my damage will be going up as well. Alright, make sure we buff. So the bosses are out now, and just look, they're starting to enter the Titan range. And boom, their HP is just getting deleted by the second. It is actually crazy. We're getting so much money, we're getting so much damage. Like, this is how OP the rumbling is for story mode. It just absolutely wipes the entire map. And for that reason, I do believe these new World 2 Extremes, being the Familiar Planet and this one, the Desert Raiders, I believe they might be possible on Extreme mode, just because of how OP Aaron is, but that remains to be seen. The early game will still be pretty difficult, but as soon as you do get that rumbling up, it's basically game over, because he's so powerful. Alright, we can actually afford another rumbling. Let's make sure we have the rumbling up as much as we can. Also, a tip for Aaron users, don't rumble until the old, Founding Titan from your last rumbling is off of the map. Because if you use it while this guy's still on the map, it will use up the cooldown, but doesn't actually do anything. Which kind of sucks, because it's one of the longest cooldowns in the game. It's like, yeah, look, barely any time has passed on it. Speaking of which, the Founding Titan's gone, so we're going to go ahead and rumble again. We're already at 1 billion damage, in story mode, might I add. Like, this is how OP Aaron is, guys. Definitely one of the best units in the game right now, for story and infinite. He's also very good for that new event. Spamming down those errands to get those points, you get a lot. So now that these bosses are slowed, we can go ahead and sell Blackbeard for a little bit of extra money. Probably won't matter too much, but hey, any money is extra money in story mode, and it always helps, considering you only have 15 waves to farm up. So yeah, you want to try and have... Oh, I forgot to buff. You want to try and have all your Uryus maxed, and then the rest of your money can just go into rumblings, honestly. So as you can see, we got the last few units out, and then the bosses to deal with. The Founding Titan's coming up right now, and he'll be doing a lot of damage to these bosses, as you can see. Now, I will say, the bosses do take a long time to die, because, I mean, look, they have like 50 million HP. Of course they're going to take a long time to die, because Uryu's only doing about 150k, but don't worry. Like, it may look like they take a very long time to die, but as long as you have them Blackbeard slowed, they're definitely going to die because of how slow they are, the fact that you have a rumbling on them, and the fact that your Uryus are doing DPS. So I'm not going to bore you guys with like the 2.5 minutes you have to sit here waiting for the boss to die, but yeah, this is basically how you beat the story mode, and I'll go ahead and cut to us winning. Alright, I lied. I was not actually going to cut to us winning. Instead, I'm going to sell this Aaron, put him back, upgrade him as much as I can. Wait for that founding to disappear. Alright, it's off. And then sell this Aaron. By the way, what I'm doing right now, you don't have to do, but it just speeds up the process, which is always nice. So yeah, make sure you use your third rumbling to get those bosses dead a lot quicker. But yeah, now for real, I'm going to cut to us winning. Alright, so I did another optional thing. I sold one of my Uryus to afford one more rumbling. As you can see, he's coming up now. The other boss is long dead, and this is the only one left. But you don't even need to do this, because the Founding Titan doesn't even... I don't think he'll even reach this guy before he ends up dying. So, yeah, you don't have to bother selling your Uryu for another rumbling. You won't even reach him. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this strategy. This is how to make the new... Well, it's not really new, but the hardest story mode in the game, Desert Raiders, super easy.